As we advance in the Torah well beyond the boundaries of Genesis and Exodus, which tell their luminous, beautiful stories about how the Jewish people came to be after the earth was fashioned by God, we find ourselves in a far more complex series of scenarios and situations because they're not stories. They don't have a clear beginning, middle, and end. Rather, they're tales that are kind of interspersed, interwoven between other stories that we know oh so very well. Shmini is the name of the Torah portion this week, and it is told that Aaron and Moses and Bnei Israel finally completed the construction of a sanctuary in the middle of the desert, and one of the great expositors of the holy text makes the observation that these are the same words that are used, Vayihi b'yom hashmini, as words that are used in Genesis to describe God's completion of the universe. In some sense, this expositor, this commentator says, in some sense, Genesis and the completion of the universe is akin to the completion in this week's Torah reading. That is to say, the world was completed not on the seventh day, but really the eighth day of creation. The eighth day was the day when God had set the whole universe, the cosmos, spinning independently of God's self. This was truly, therefore, the first day of the creation of the universe. And so it is B'yom Hashmini that is told in this week's Torah reading on the eighth day after the consecration of the tabernacle and the investiture of Aaron and all of his sons as the priests, the Kohanim, that would administer the children of Israel, that the world was finally complete a second time. And yet at odds with this is another commentator, Rabbi Yisrael of Rizhin, who makes the observation that the tabernacle was there for a specific purpose. The tabernacle was there as an expiation of sins of the Jewish people. So its cause into being was not a healthy reason, was not something that was good. It was because something had gone wrong in the cosmos. B'yom Hashmini, in a historical context, occurs like this. The Jews had been led out of Egypt. They'd wandered for 7 straight weeks towards a small mountain in the middle of the wilderness. And God called Moses up to the top of the mountain and gave him the gift that would change his life and the course of the universe forever. When Moses, however, came down from that mountainside, he found himself confronted with an abysmal sight. For the Israelites had erected a golden calf. And it was as a result of that golden calf that the tabernacle needed to be made. The Mishkan in the wilderness was required because the Jewish people needed a place where they could go to cleanse themselves of the sin that they had committed. So, on the one hand, B'yom HaShmini is the holiest day of the year. It's the completion of the universe and the completion of the tabernacle. What could be holier than both of those items? And on the other hand, we've got the rationale for the Mishkan having been created was one that was faulty because humanity had sinned. And if you think about it in that context, there's a direct correlation between that and Eden as well. For wasn't the sin also committed of eating the fruit of the knowledge of good and evil after the cosmos had been completed as well? Perhaps this all leads us to one very certain fact, that we are fallible human beings prone to sin, prone to going in the wrong direction, despite all indications otherwise, despite all of the traffic signs that would urge us to go this way and not that way, despite the austerity broke, the 10 commandments that God gave us that said this is the way you need to live your life, not that way. We still err, we still make mistakes. This is the human condition. But the pinnacle of human ability is in surmounting our basest instincts. The true grandeur and perhaps the perfection of the universe can be encapsulated in the idea that we can always do better. And maybe this is the reason for this week's reading, Shmini, to take such a conspicuous and powerful role in the cycle of Torah readings for us. Because herein lies our redemption. We can be holy beings. Shabbat Shalom.